Hey, it's Cody. I'm here today with a video that was actually a request. Um, Underneath one of my other videos, an account named Just a Cup of Tea, who I will be tagging to make sure that they see this, requested that I do a video about decks that are firmly in my collection that need to go. And that is so perfectly right up my alley. The instant I read it, I thought of like 4 decks immediately. My brain was just like, it's fucking these ones. So here I am, with quite a few decks, 9, 10, 11 decks that are firmly, for the moment, in my collection, but really I should, like, pass along. Also, I kind of hope that, the lady that really hated my video, about, decks that are on thin ice that I wanted to get rid of. She said it was the worst video she'd ever seen from the tarot community. Honestly, I kind of hope she hate watches this because I think this one's probably going to be even worse. So, without further ado, I'm trying not to make this way long, okay? But, like, I can't make any promises. The first deck that's firmly in my collection but really probably should be gotten rid of. I'm going to get hate for this. It's the Ashen Thorn Tarot. Okay. When this deck first came out, I honestly ignored it. I love forest vibes. Wow, this is like looking streaky against this black background. Oh well. I love decks with forest vibes. I love the fairy tale kind of vibes and shit like that. But something about this was honestly just like too cutesy. Like some of the artwork in here I think is just beautiful. I really love Adam Oehler's artwork. Like this, for example, is just stunning. Judgment rising up like that. But the reason that I actually ended up with this deck is... This card's the perfect segue into the very next deck. And that is... This is the Smoke, Ash, and Embers Tarot. Now this is... Same creators... But this one is dragons. Now, this and the Ashen Thorn, I was just like, I've seen it so many places, and everyone seemed to only have good things to say about it. I'm like, maybe I'm just not, like, getting that feeling properly from, like, photos of it. Maybe if I actually had it in my hands. You're going to discover that this is a common theme and a problem, that this is a cycle I repeat and do not learn from. So, when the Kickstarter came out for this Smoke, Ash, and Embers, there was an option to do like a dual pack where you could also get like Ash and Thorn. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and get them both. Exactly what I knew the problem was going to be, actually is the problem. And it's just, like, okay, I think I just saw one that I liked. I like this. I like dragons, but I have yet to find a dragon deck. I have a whole video bitching about every dragon deck that I have and what's wrong with it, and, like, asking why I can't find one that I feel like is correct, so that's... Me and dragon decks is a thing that goes way back. But... Again, like, a lot of them are just too cutesy. Like, and this is going to be the most damning thing that I say here, but do you know how some decks just, they have good artwork, but the artwork doesn't necessarily speak to you? It doesn't, like, give you information so much about what the card meaning is. These decks are that to me. Okay, to me, I'm not saying in general this sucks, okay? Because I definitely think that some things objectively fucking suck, and then some things, like, some things it's a me thing. Now, I think that these decks deserve the love that they get, and it really bothers me, yeah, this is the Ten of Swords I kept, that I can't seem to get into these, and so, for that reason, both of these decks are firmly in my collection. However, I don't use them, and, like, realistically, I know, okay? I do know that there's no reason for me to be keeping these. Like, I'm just not gonna wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm changed as a person, and I'm gonna use these decks. But, like, I always hope that it will happen. So, I will not get rid of these decks, but I 100% should. Okay, this one sort of flows into the next. This is another attempt at a dragon deck. Now, this is the Dragon Tarot, and it is by, wow, I don't even know. Okay, this is actually a used copy that I ordered from a Spiritual Journeys. Here's like legit their address and everything. Okay, when I got this probably about 15 years ago now. And what's the date on this? 95. Yeah. So, and I ordered this. It was from like an online kind of shop. I was aware that it was used. Said it was in good condition. I mean, obviously there's really no damage to it. And I used this thing for a while because I was like, hell yeah, it's dragons. The issue is, okay, when I got it, the deck was not put in order. And at that point in time, I was like 20. And it did not occur to me to make sure that all the cards were there. And this is missing. It's either the Lovers or the Two of Cups, which I've tried to convince myself is fine because the other one can kind of cover what the one that I have can sort of cover the ideas of the one that's missing from it, but it doesn't work like that, man. And like, I don't know, it's almost like a sentimental value that I keep this deck. Like, I'm generally not a sentimental person, but I just feel like I remember the readings that I got from it. Like, okay, here's the most ridiculous part is I have gotten some really good readings out of this thing. And it wasn't until I realized it was missing a card that it became like an issue. And I'm like, it was not complete. You know what I mean? Sorry. Jesus. I don't think I have COVID. Okay, yep, so here's Two of Cups. So it is the Lovers that's missing. Man, and like, it's part of it's really my own hang up. Like, honestly, there's 77 cards in this deck. Like, I can, that's more than most Oracle decks are coming out with nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big of a deal, but something gets me about it. So, but also I'm not getting rid of it. So, I don't use it, but I'm not getting rid of it. That's, yeah. Fuck you, Spiritual Journeys. Okay. Next. Oh my god, I just almost knocked over a stack of decks. This one's probably going to get me hate from a certain type of person too. This is the fucking Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Now, here's Alana Fairchild is one of those deck creators that I like have beef with over here from my side. Like, she has no idea. She's just out there doing her thing, and I'm like just over here mad. She has shit out so many decks, and they're ultimately just poorly researched, I think, as far as like the deity's actual like historical and mythological context. Okay, they're always very much divorced from the backgrounds that they come from. I am really not a fan of like divine feminine, and they're like, oh, all goddesses are just pieces of this divine feminine, like one thing. I am like deeply against that. So, and that she definitely has that going for her there. And I don't appreciate it. Like, I don't want to get way into the weeds here about this, but like, I have some problems. But the reason I have this fucking deck, okay, I have this one, and I also have the Kali Oracle, which I actually have an older video that I just showed you that I like blackout poemed the backs of the cards. Okay. First of all, I will tell you the things that I dislike about this deck. Even though I already partially explained it, like, none of these meanings really have much to do with her actual myths. She's really just been torn directly out of the entire mythology and the culture that she, like, from where she came. Do you know what I mean by that? And this, people are gonna fucking hate. Like, also, I kind of hate the artwork. Like, look at this Katy Perry ass shit. This is an artwork by Jimmy Manton, and also I hate his artwork. Okay, so sound off in the comments if you're pissed that I said that. Here's the issue, though, is I occasionally, well, for the last maybe 4 or 5 summers, I get a really strong, like, presence from Isis, who personally I would rather call Aset, because that is her Egyptian name. Um, and just it almost, this feels like slapdash to me in its research. I don't like, okay, I really hate the huge deck, so I got the mini one, but I hate that there's like bullshit on the back. And they always skew positive and have weird like light code bullshit kind of messages. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that I have complained about this deck in other videos, so I don't want to go too far into it. I also dislike the fact that like her face in a lot of these is literally the exact same. I know that one is several of them. Like, this is the exact same face. Oh no, I guess that one isn't. But some of them are, like, noticeably, it's distracting to me because I'm like, see, this one was just one of the other ones. It's like he couldn't even draw however many. It's just flipped around. You know what I mean? Like, it feels lazy. I had the same complaint about what? Journey of a Lonely Soul Oracle or something like that. I've gotten rid of that one, but there is one face that's in here like 4 times. And it's just, I personally find that distracting. Here's another one. Like, I don't know, man, it feels lazy. Everything about this deck feels lazy to me. And the reason though that I keep it is because I have not found a deck that's like another deck that's specifically about Isis, I guess, in the way that I'm looking for. But like, I don't ever really use this one. I'll pull it out and then I read the fucking back message. You're a sovereign, divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as you so choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being free to be you. Pretty much all the card meanings are so very similar. They're all written like that. Like, I personally don't do the I'm a divine being kind of thing. It's something that I've actually grown more against in recent years. So like, it sets me off. I don't like that I have this. I want to get rid of it. I've literally put this, I have like this shoebox that decks go in when they're like on their last fucking leg. This has been in there and I keep saving it. Like, what am I doing, man? Okay, wow, I talked too much about that one. Okay, this one's gonna get hate, and also I hate myself for this one. This is the Hush Tarot by Jeremy Hush. Okay. I've pissed people off talking about this deck before. Okay, please, hey, focus. I hate that there's writing on the backs. Okay, but also, I love the artwork in this. Okay, actually, I'm going to make a couple piles here to show you what I'm talking about. Fuck, this video is probably going to be really long. That's an I don't know pile. Okay. Now, the artwork in this deck is absolutely fucking stunning, and I feel, when I first saw pictures of this deck, I was so fucking excited. I'm like, this is going to be so beautiful. This is going to be the kind of thing, like, I felt like it had a lot of birds, it had a lot of air energy, and then I ran into actually having the deck. Now, I know a lot of people work with this deck to great effect. To me, personally, some of these cards are small portions of larger paintings by the deck creator, Jeremy Hush. And then some of the, like, you can tell because, like, some of these were made specifically to be cards. And then some of them that are a little more detailed, are just smaller parts of larger paintings that didn't necessarily have the intention of being a tarot card, if that makes sense. You can look it up. You can look on his page and stuff. Like, this, I'm pretty sure, is a small zoomed in portion of a larger piece. And it gives it a weird disjointed feeling to me personally. Like, curated art decks are usually not one of my favorite things. Some of them I think have been done well. This one, I can't get with it. There's also the Lover's card in here that just comes directly out of nowhere. Here we are. Pretty sure we've got Shiva and Shakti here, and there is no other reference to any Hindu deities in this. Like, it is this throws me every single time I see it. I just, like, but artistic, wow. Like, art style-wise, I don't know what I'm trying to fucking say. there's such a difference between like this being detailed and like having a lot of time spent on it and like this. And it feels weird, man. And you might say, yeah, well, that one's a major, but like there are several of them. They're like that. Like they're, oh my God, where's somewhere? Like look at the difference between these two. What's going on with this? It's the whole thing feels patchy to me. Like as much as I love this, to me, I struggle with this being a cohesive deck. And so for that reason, I struggle to actually use this. The problem is this is my own like shame that I can't deal with this deck. Even though I want to, I feel like it would just be so beautiful to like pull this deck out and use it, but it doesn't work for me. My brain doesn't do whatever this deck is trying to do. Okay, this one's weird to be on here. This is the Spheres of Heaven Tarot. Now, I believe this is pronounced Sephiroth. I could be wrong. Here is the reason that I feel like I should just get rid of this deck is because I actually have the indie version of it, and for some reason I felt like when the mass market version came out, I felt like I needed to have that, which is weird. I did a whole, like, what is on this? A whole, like, flip through. Oh, that's part of it. Okay. Oh, that's a horse's eye. Jesus Christ. I did a whole flip through comparing, you know, the contrast of it and, you know, just stuff like that. I don't know why I felt the need to get this deck. Like, I have never used this once. I only use the indie version that I have. Like, honestly, why did I spend money on just a worse version of a deck that I already hadn't liked? I don't know what I was doing. And that's a thing I do occasionally. Like, if I feel like I really like an indie version of something, then I will go ahead and get the mass market one. I've done this to myself several times, and every single time I end up getting rid of the mass market one. So I don't know why I did this. I mean, this was at least last year, but the point is, like, why? And the weird thing is, like, why have I not gotten rid of this? Why am I keeping a deck I know damn well that I'm not going to use? I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I imagine, like, that I'm a different person than I am. Like, if I ever went and did readings, like, outside or something for people, then I could use this one. I like this deck. It's easy for me to read, and I wouldn't have to, like, worry about it getting dirty or fucked up or, like, other people touching it. I don't do that shit. I don't know why I imagine that for myself. Like, what am I doing? Anyway, I'm not getting rid of that. Okay, here's another one. I've complained about this before. This is the Seasons of the Witch. This is the Sedona Oracle. I also have Yule and one other one. I have 3 of these. Here's the thing. I think other people have mentioned this too. My problem with this deck and the other ones that I have that are also in this like series is I don't like the little poems or whatever these things are. The misuse of thee and thou kills me. Like, I feel like a physical aversion to reading this shit. And these don't really help describe the meaning of the card. I mean, you could just put candle magic, and then you can just look in the guidebook. The guidebooks are pretty good. I do like the artwork of this. I like the idea of there being one for each of the, like, Wheel of the Year days. You know what I mean? Even though I don't really celebrate all of them, that's not a thing that I worry about. But I was really excited when I think a different one was coming out, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get this. But then I'm like, what am I doing? I don't use these, and it is literally because of these little poems on the bottom. And the issue that I have is, like, even if I could try and cut them off, they're not even. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this one's longer than this one. So I'm not really sure how to deal with it. I mean, I could cover it up, but, like, I don't know whose decision it was to put this on the card. I mean, instead of just a keyword or legitimately just nothing, I think would have been fine. But these poems are the things that ruin these decks for me. Like, there's some part of me that's like, I gotta fucking catch them all because they're all coming out. Like, what if they, you know, stop making these or whatever, and I don't fucking have the whole set of them? But, like, ultimately, I don't want the whole set of them. I do the Yule and whatever the other one is actually, I think I probably am going to get rid of. This one, my love for the artwork for this being Samhain, like, that is fucking stunning. I actually do keep, I will keep this one. But I really do want to get rid of the other ones. They probably should have been on that other video about decks that are on fucking thin ice, but this one, even though I don't use it, okay, I will be keeping this one. So I gotta put all these away here. Otherwise, I like sit here and feel sorry for myself for 10 minutes before I can put the rest of the decks away if I like wait till the end of it. Okay, this is kind of a weird one. I should have honestly seen coming. These are the Animal Spirits Knowledge cards. These are paintings by Susan. I don't actually know how you say that. It might be French. Okay. There's also a Goddesses version of this one, which I like better. Now, this is like a curated art deck, actually. Like, I don't think that the artist actually... Let's look. Yeah, I mean, she died in 1997. Reproduced into a deck. So, this is curated art. Here's the thing is that if I'm working with animal energy, which I do occasionally, like not as often as I wish that I did, I spend time, which really pisses me off, and wishing that I was different than I am. Like, do you ever do that? Okay, but like, I love this. The back write-up, not my favorite. I honestly wish that I had better knowledge of like animal sorts of things so that I felt like I didn't have to rely on other people's write-ups for them, but like these paintings are so beautiful that I can't get rid of it, but like I'm not going to use this. I know for a fact I'm not going to use this. And I don't like write-ups on the backs of cards. I don't like when you got to turn. Some of them are, you know, landscape versus fucking a portrait. That pisses me off. Like, some of these are just pieces of other larger paintings, maybe. So they end up getting weird borders and shit sometimes. Like, these are not pleasant things to experience. Is this a snake? Okay. When reading with the deck. So mostly I would just use these as like altar cards. As in, okay, here's the animal that I'm working with, right? Like, that is fucking stunning. I love that. Look at this guy. But yeah, so I will not be getting rid of this deck. Or the goddess one. Actually, I didn't grab them both because I figured, they're pretty similar, but... So yeah, I am key. Like, I should have known myself when I watched, I think, a walkthrough or looked at some of the photos of this. Like, I should have known that I wasn't really going to be into that, but, you know. Okay, this one, I don't know where the box for this is. This is a deck called the Sedona Oracle. Now, this is an independently produced deck. Now, I had gone... I think it was a wedding, and we had to drive through the state in the U.S. of Arizona. And while we did not get to go to Sedona, I was really, really into desert energy. I had moved to a place in Colorado that's really deserty. We had gone through Arizona. We broke down in weather that was literally 121 degrees Fahrenheit. That is unbelievable. And, yeah, I was super into desert energy. The issue is, I did fizzle out on that, like, and I didn't use this deck as much as I thought I was going to. However, it's almost like this deck reminds me of how I felt about deserts and, like, the work that I was doing with it at the time. And I do really like this deck. I don't think that a lot of people know about this deck, so if you're into desert sort of energy, or this is the worst card in this deck. I understand why it's there, but also I hate it. This is a good one to look at. Maybe there's a guidebook someplace, wherever the box is. Like, I know I didn't get rid of it, but I just sometimes stick shit in random places and then I don't know where it went, so I would like to find that. I don't remember who this is by. I do know that it's called, I think it's called like the Sedona Deck and Oracle or something like that, which is kind of a weird name, but that is what this is. Love this guy. And yeah, I'm keeping this, I guess, for the memories. I don't know, man. Maybe a time will come when I am back into this deck, but I don't actually... Not for the foreseeable future, honestly. Like, I'm kind of over deserts. Okay, here's one I don't think anyone's going to be surprised to see on here. This is the Sacred Cycles Oracle. Now, this was just a weird one for me to get in the first place. Okay, so I love the idea of cycles. I did not really, like, research this deck before. I think I actually pre-ordered this because something is wrong with me sometimes. I'm good with, you know, moon cycle kinds of things. Seasons. Here's a moon cycle. Crone. Okay, the thing is, we run into these cards that, well, I think that they might be valuable for some people that are, like, really into, like, I don't know, certain energies. It's just not a thing I fuck with, so I don't ever use this. But something about the artwork really draws me in. Like, I kind of want to see what this deck is left with if I pulled out all of those cards. You know, if I got rid of, like, these... What would this look like? I don't know why I'm doing this on here right now. Like, no thanks. For me, personally. Gibbous, 13 moons, uterus out of here. That's a plant. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing this, like, right now on this, but I am. Yeah, it's... Oh my god. Look what I'm doing. Why do I have these, like, one face up and one not? Like, maybe I could leave bleeding rituals in. No? I don't know. I'm also not really the greatest fan of the whole Maiden Mother Crone shit either. So I kind of have a lot of... The more that I have backed away and realized a lot of things that I disagree with in, like, more New Age sort of community areas... I realize how much it's really crept into a lot of things that are going on. Like birth, maybe I could keep that, and we'll put that in the L pile. And how much I really actually do not appreciate seeing it in all the decks everywhere. Like, I don't... I think that I'm transforming, like, as a practitioner and as, like, a human being. Oh, that's a lot of them, though. So, like, I don't know. Would this be worth using, really? Maybe. You know what? I'm going to look into this later, so I'll take these cards that I pulled out. Maybe I'll put a couple of them back. Like, some of them might not be so bad, but something about the artwork, it feels like almost cave art-esque or something. Like, I'm into the art style, but a lot of the ideas in this deck I'm not fucking into. Okay. This is the Moonchild Tarot by Danielle Noel. This is the Shadow edition of it. I pre-ordered this. Hey, look. I pre-ordered this. I spent $80 US on this fucking deck, and I don't like it. And, like, I knew I wouldn't. But for some reason, I keep it. Like, okay, I like some of the pictures. Like this, very cool. That, no. It's okay. I don't like that guy. Some of these, I mean, like, I deeply dislike this card. I don't like it. Like, just everything about it, I don't like. This, he's okay. Like, I don't know why. It doesn't even occur to me to get rid of this deck. And frankly, the disrespect that I have for this deck it shocks even me. Like, why did I legitimately I did a fake reading. I said it was a reading for the collective, but it was fake. And I put it on, like, I don't know, a bunch of my other social media. And then drew this card, of course, because I could tell which one it was because it had fucking paper tape to it. I spent $80 fucking US on a deck to tape fucking paper to one of the card faces. Like, what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? Why am I keeping this? I don't know, man. It's something about the disrespect that I have for it makes me feel, I don't know. Look how beautiful this card is, though. But then there's, like, that. So, yeah, ultimately, I'm not getting rid of this deck. I just also don't like it. This is very cool. Yeah, not a fan of it, but also I'm not getting it. Come on. So, I mean, I guess this is just one of the cards in here now. I like the backs of this. Some part of me wants a deck that's like predominantly purple. But I can't seem to find one that I like, so you know what? There's a deck that's been in like the art making process for several years. I think it's called the Indigo Valkyrie Tarot. And it's mostly like purple and blue on I think a white background. So whenever that's done, maybe that's going to be the thing that finally lets me let go of that. Okay, here is one. I went back and forth on whether I wanted to even talk about this one. Now, this one has some problematic elements to it. I'm just going to present to you the issue with this deck. This is the Ghetto Tarot. Now, this deck was sent to me, not by the creator, by somebody else, and I don't remember exactly the situation surrounding it, but I had got this deck. Now, the premise of this deck is there is a Haitian group of artists who recreated the Rider-Waite-Smith cards. This was the first photograph deck I ever felt like actually said something. Everything about this is so creative. It's so... It gives me a feeling that, like, it makes it so real, in a way that, like, the drawn artwork for Rider-Waite-Smith decks just doesn't. Like, there is something so special about this deck and the artwork and working with it. However, one day, then, after loving this deck for a couple of years, I found out, okay, part of this is my own fault because it says here on the back, it mentions this, okay? There's a woman and her name is, where is her name? Alice Smeets. Now, the issue is that she is from some European country. Fuck, I should have looked it up. I don't remember which country it is. But she is actually the one who organized all of this and went to Haiti and worked with this group of artists that were local to the area. And that kind of made me feel weird. It was almost like some sort of tourism for her to like go and look. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Okay, this video is going to end on a pretty fucking heavy note. And I started seeing people talking about it, and I will always take my cues from the people who are actually going to be affected by this, right? So I had seen some Black tarot readers did not feel comfortable with the arrangement of this. And yet there were other people then who were like, I mean, the artist got paid, right? So was it really, you know, exploiting this group of artists that were working with her? I don't know. I don't know what the payment system was like. Honestly, I am not sure that I am really a person that needs to... I don't really think I get to have quite an opinion on the way that this was made and the way that it was handled. And so because I was seeing that there were some Black tarot readers who were uncomfortable with the way that this had been created, I did go ahead and stop using this deck. See, like, my love for this deck, now I just feel weird even looking at it. Because this had made people uncomfortable, and there are some things I don't give a fuck if they make people uncomfortable, you know what I mean? But this, I kind of don't like it. And it's been a huge thing, on and off. And so I keep this because I'm not really sure what to do with it. Now, I do believe it has been renamed. I don't know what it has been renamed to. The deck has been renamed, so it does not contain this word anymore, but still its creation lasts. So, like, do I want to put another copy of this out in the world if it's a problem? I don't know, man. So this just sits sadly in the back of my tarot cabinet because honestly it feels gross now. So yeah. If someone's offering to send you a deck, you probably should look into, like, this was not sent to me by the creator. This was sent to me by somebody else. I think I have the thing. Someone named Wendy. So it was not the creator, but Yeah, look into it, okay? Like, know what you're getting into, because if I had known this before I said yes to being sent this deck, I would have said no to it. So, these were my decks that are in my collection that honestly do need to go, because there are just really so many reasons for me to get rid of all of these, but for some reason I'm also keeping them, so sorry this video was so long. Thanks for watching, bye.